Hello, this is Dave Stender, and today I'd like to talk to you about an idea of how to make a homemade heat exchanger to save energy as an important cost savings and also for the benefit of the environment. In this section, I'm going to give you an idea of regarding how to construct your own homemade heat exchanger to save energy in your hog house. This is a picture of a plenum. The idea is to bring cold, fresh outside air in and run it through a box along the ceiling, allowing the outside air to warm up as it blows by the warm inside air. The air can then be dumped into a heated room to be pushed back into the room with positive pressure through what I call engineered inlets. See the video describing taking moisture out of the air with positive pressure in order to understand how to set up the power inlets. Heat savings occurs when the incoming air cools the plastic vapor barrier on the bottom of the fresh air box or the plenum. So here I'm going to go through the schematic of the homemade heat exchanger. Here you can see the outside of the building with pointed by the arrows and the box to be built along the ceiling. In the center of the box, you build a divider to force the air down the length of the building and return. Cut a hole in the wall so that fresh outside air can enter the building. You may want to put a fan here to push the fresh, cooler air inside the plenum. The airflow will travel the length of the building and back to the end of the plenum. And you may want to put a fan forcing air into the preheat room. That's a room with a heater. Or you can put a fan pushing out of the preheat room into what I call the air distribution tube. You'll see what that looks like on the next slide. It's a black field tile in this example that's engineered with holes cut out to manage the uniform air distribution in the room. Here you can see a picture of an example of what this might look like. The black tube is the power inlet with the air coming out of the preheat room. Behind the tube, you get an idea of what the plenum looks like. Built simply with plywood sides and plastic on the bottom. As warm, moist air condenses the moisture on the plastic vapor barrier at the bottom of the plenum, the condensation is the energy transfer when you go from steam gas back to liquid, and it produces heat. Roughly 1,000 BTUs of heat energy is released when water as a gas phase changes to water as a liquid per pound of water condensed. Heat is transferred from the warm air in the room to the colder air in the plenum, but that warm air is recycled back into the room through your preheat room, so no heat is lost. The best case scenario would be running the plenum through a room with larger pigs that are producing extra heat and using that extra heat for smaller pigs. But even if you use the same room as this example, heating up the colder air, incoming air, in exchange for cooling the room air, the heat released from the condensation gas to liquid on the cold plastic surface at the bottom of the plenum generates extra heat and ultimately saves energy. Of course, you'll want to train your pigs in dunging habits. Make sure the plenum is over your dunging area. The moisture condensation will wet the floor underneath the pigs and will help your dunging patterns, as they will want to dung in the cold, wet areas. For more information or some more ideas regarding this idea of a homemade heat exchanger, contact dstender at iastate.edu. This is Dave Stender, swine specialist for Iowa State Extension. Have a nice day.